Hello, welcome to the eighth module of the Fish Farming Agribusiness course on Agronomy. In this module, we'll be addressing marketing and sales strategy for fish farming business. By the end of this module, you would have understood how to conduct market research and identify your customers for your fish farm. You would also learn pricing strategies and distribution channels for your fish business. You would also learn about branding and packaging techniques for your catfish farming business. And lastly, you will gain insight on export opportunities and regulatory compliance for your fish business. Now, before that, what's the importance of market research? Market research helps you to understand what your customer wants, what the market is looking for, and what your competitors are doing. And the methodologies, which are the ways you would go about it, are usually surveys, interview, and general competitor analysis. What is competitor analysis? This is simply you looking through what your competitor is doing from head to toe. As a tip, regularly update your research to adapt to the changing market need, which means that from time to time, always learn what the market is looking for so that you can adapt your fish farming business to that. What are the factors that influence the demand of catfish in every market? Product quality. Customers always prefer fresh, well-sized catfish, and that is not going to change anytime soon. And most times, people also adjust their product based on their local dietary habits. So if you're in places where people are very health conscious, there are chances that there's going to be demand for catfish, especially if it has clear tie to their dietary habits. Also, seasonal variability is a challenge. So demand may vary during holidays or special occasions or during festive period and all of that. So my advice to you is track the peak demand period and adjust your production and sales efforts accordingly so that you can leverage it at every point in time. Now, what are the major customer segments for catfish? So we have the local market. These are people who buy the fresh fish for their personal house consumption. We have the restaurants who need consistent supply and specific sizes to meet their customer. And then we have the processors. These people buy in large volumes for further processing into smoked or dried fish. As a tip, I would say customize your catfish to match each segment need, such as portion, their sizes, restaurant, bulk orders for processors as they require. Now, how do you set for competitive pricing? So for competitive pricing, you have to first start with what is your production cost? How much did you spend on feed? How much did you spend on labor, water, and general maintenance? The next thing is when you have accumulated that, you now go into the market to analyze what your competitors are pricing, both our local and regional market. After that, make sure you add your own profit margin, and your prices, which will be your selling price, should cover your cost and provide you reasonable profits. As an advice, adjust your price based on volume orders or customer loyalty, so such that people who are consistent customer are able to get a form of discount that does not make you lose profit, right? And people who are new time customers also have a certain price. You want to define this also based on volume. So the more the fish you buy, the more the discount you are able to access within your business. You also need to tailor your prices based on your customer type. So bulk buyers will always advise that you offer them discount for large quantities. For retail customers, just set a standard price for individual or small purchases. Then contract, which is the one where you have to supply to restaurants consistently over a period of time. It's always advised that you have a fixed pricing for your regular supply contract. Example, you can price per kilogram and you may vary that slightly between wholesalers and direct customers. How do you then distribute your catfish? So there are three major ways you can look around distributing your catfish. First is through the wholesaler. So you sell in bulk to intermediaries. These are people who sell to the people who then consume. You can also sell to retailers. These are people who sell directly to customers, and then you can do your own personal direct sales where you are selling to the people who actually consume. For this, you need to sell online or through maybe an offline outlet in a store that you have called your outlet for people to come and pick. As an advice, always diversify your channel so that you can reduce your dependency on one single buyer group. So sell to individual, sell to retail, sell to wholesale. Then maybe when you have a lot of demand, you can drop You can take a break on your direct sale, have a minimum order quantity. That way you are selling to everybody and not losing out on customers. Why is branding important? See, you cannot run a catfish business without branding, because branding is what will make you stand out and make people identify your catfish anywhere that they see it. Firstly, First, branding helps for recognition. E allows people to know your fish when they see your fish. E also helps you to build trust, because when people know that you always have a tag that they use to identify your fish, there is an assumption that you always want to keep up with that quality. Lastly, branding sets you apart. So it makes your fish identifiable in the crowd. As a tip, I would ask you to invest in a memorable brand name, logo, slogan, stickers, or marks that can help strengthen your customer loyalty. Packaging is also very important to help you attract and preserve your customers. So you have to ensure that your fish is always very fresh and it does not have any form of contamination. You have to have a clear design that has attractive color and informative. You also have to make sure that it's eco-friendly. So you want to consider using sustainable materials that appeal to the environment, so that you are not giving people a packaging material that will eventually become totally unuseful to them and also unuseful to the environment. As an advice, label your packages with product information, with the weight. For products that have expiring date, please do that so that you can build trust. There are key informations you should have in your label. What's the name of your product? What's the name of the species? What's the weight of the fish? What was the production date? Right? Now, do you have certification as a business owner? What are the certification that ties to your fish? What are your contact information? You want to put your phone number, your website, or any social media handle that you have. For example, label with traceable information that can reassure customers about food safety. People are now very concerned about where their fish is coming from. So if you can even tag your fish based on the day they came into the farm, such that when people come, you can trace back to the fish, the feed bag that was used to feed them and all of that, it will always be advisable. You can then begin to explore the export market, both regional and international. Many of these markets are interested in fresh, frozen or processed fish, but you need to do your market research, know are your target audience and how they want to be served. As an advice, always start small. Start with regional exports before you now expand into the international market. But before doing that, ensure that you understand the regulations for this catfish export. What are the health certification? Are they packaging standard? Are they quality checks you need to have? Put all of that together and ensure that you work with export agency or consultant. You can always come to Agrodemy and request for a match to a consultant that can help you ensure that you have full compliance. And in meeting export standard, traceability is very important. So people should be able to trace the origin of the fish, right? And it should be well documented. This could be in form of a barcode. You also want to ensure that the temperature control is very, very key for you, especially if you are into frozen product, to maintain the temperature during transportation. Also, you want to look at hygienic protocol. Make sure you follow all the hygiene standards for international safety and standard, especially if you want to export your fish. As an advice, keep record and track all the batch number that comply with export audit, so that at the point where you need to do an audit or a customer is complaining, you always have something to prove, so that you don't get recalled or your license does not get revoked. You can also expand by leveraging partnerships. So partner with export agency, distributors, importers, and partnership just simply means that working with people who are already in the export process, so that they can help you navigate through the regulations and get your product out there to the customer. You don't necessarily have to be the one doing it. If you have somebody who already have a system, please feel free to plug into them and connect with them for the growth of your catfish business. As a recap, in this video, we addressed market research and customers identification strategy. We also talked about pricing and the distribution channels you can use for your catfish. We talked about branding and the packaging techniques you can use. I also covered export opportunities and the compliance requirements you should look around. As an activity, I want to ask you, have you ever bought a fresh fish from a farm that is branded in a way that you know that it's coming from a particular farm? If you have, please let us know that company in the comment section. And also, if you are to name a catfish farm today, what's a catchy name you can think about that is going to be recognized by so many people and can last in their head? Let us know in the comment section. You may just win a gift from us. Thank you for coming to the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next model. Bye.